Okay, so I want you to hang on to your hats because I'm about to say something that I think a lot of you are probably not expecting me to say. I'm going to take a position that I don't think a lot of you are expecting me to take. Tim Pool is right. He's right. He's right. He is. Or at least he was on June 24th when he sent this tweet that apparently melted down the internet while I was out in the woods with the libertarians at PorkFest. This is why I'm just seeing this now, because beginning on June 23rd, I was out in the woods with the libertarians. I was not paying attention to Twitter drama. I was having a grand old time. And I just became aware of this tweet this morning, just purely by accident. A video from the quartering popped up on my YouTube about how Tim is melting down on the internet. Like, people always make this so dramatic. Like, he stated a position that people didn't agree with. People told him that they didn't agree with it, and then all of a sudden he's responding to them, and all of a sudden people are like, Tim is melting down because we disagree with him and he does not agree with us. Dude, the guy is right. I'm sorry. He tweeted out, stop responding to people who don't use their name or actual avatar and watch discourse drastically improved. And how this is being framed, I'm sorry, the quartering is guilty of this, and I don't know, God knows how many other people are guilty of it. How it's being framed is, Tim is telling people to dox themselves. No, he's not. No, he's not. He is absolutely 100% correct in this assertion that if people on the internet weren't anonymous with anime icons, that the state of discourse in this situation would be 1,000 times improved. Now listen, I understand that there are reasons that people would want to be anonymous. God knows I do not always like, in fact, very rarely like, being a public person on the internet where I'm putting my opinions out there every single day. It has blowback in the real world. I have been canceled like 3-4 times on the right and 3-4 times on the left. I am one of the people that's actually been canceled by both sides for expressing my opinions. So I don't want to hear anyone say, Carlin, you just don't understand what it's like to lose a job or feel in danger of that. No. I absolutely understand. I have had my life torn apart because of this shit. I have had my last week, a day after Tim tweeted this, I had my address doxed on the internet. I completely understand the dangers of being in public with your name and face on your opinions. However, here's what I also know. People are assholes when they're anonymous. People say things they would never normally say when they're anonymous. And people, I think, here's the thing. I've said this a million times about critical race theory. If every single person that was opposed to critical race theory just stood up and said so right now, critical race theory would be done. It would be over. It would be finished. We now know from polls that the majority of Americans on both sides, with both sides included, the majority of Americans do not support critical race theory. They don't support it. But no one's saying it. No one is standing up and having the courage of their convictions to say, I do not support this and this is why. Instead, what they're doing is they're hiding behind anonymity on the internet and just fighting and bickering back and forth. And guess what, guys? I'm sorry. Anonymous accounts never changed the world. Anonymous accounts never fixed problems. All they did was create problems or make problems that were already there bigger. So Tim got a lot of backlash to this. And I'm just going to be really blunt. I think the reason that he got a lot of backlash is not because people think he's wrong, but because people know he's right. I think the reason that he got backlash is that the people responding to this know. They know that they're being cowards and they could do more. Now, I can accept someone saying, Carlin, I'm anonymous on the internet because I don't want to lose my job, and I know that kind of sucks, and I know I'm making that sacrifice, and I've even had these conversations with a lot of people who said, I feel really guilty about not speaking out more, but I'm just so afraid. You know what? Listen, that's a position I can respect. I get it. I don't want people to lose their job. I don't want people to lose their friends. I don't want people to lose their family. I've been through all of that and more. And so it's a position I can respect if you come to it and you say, you know what? There are reasons I'm not doing this. I admit that maybe it's a little bit cowardly, but I'm on balance, that's just where I've leveled out. I can completely respect that as a position. What I cannot respect is when someone points out correctly that anonymity on the internet causes a lot of shit that wouldn't otherwise be there. And the people who are anonymous on the internet get so offended, like, how dare you? You want me to destroy my life? Come on. Come on. That's not what's happening. And you know it, and I know it. Just because you feel guilty that you're not doing enough is not a good enough reason to backtrack from a completely correct and accurate position. So apparently Tim got a lot of backlash to this, so he continued to tweet. He said, I never said people aren't allowed to talk. I said I have better conversations when people show themselves. Why should I be the only one to put my face and name on the line for what I believe? Well, Tim, guess what? You're not the only one to put your face and name on the line for what you believe. Hi! There are others of us doing it. But he's right. He's right. Listen, if you are complaining all day, every day about the state of affairs in this country, if you're complaining all day, every day about the state of culture in this country, about how you don't like critical race theory, you don't like this, you don't like that, you don't like the other thing, but you're doing it behind an anonymous account, I'm sorry. Like, you're not helping to fix the problem. The only people who are able to contribute in a real way to fixing the problem is people who put their face on things. People like James Lindsay, people like Chris Rufo, people who get elected to school board or get elected to state rep to actually try to pass laws against this crap. Those are the people that are actually going to end up changing things. Even frankly, even a person who sends in an email to a state representative in New Hampshire, you're still putting your name on it. You're still saying, this is who I am, and this is what I believe, even if it's just in a one-on-one email to a state representative. Like, that's you putting yourself out there. That totally counts so far as this. But he's absolutely correct that not enough people are putting their names on things, and not enough people are having the courage of their convictions to speak up when they see something that is wrong. He goes on, I quit and sued 2 companies before I had a Twitter account. I quit 2 massive media companies offering me the world. You can't even stand by your own names, and that's likely why you'll never have one. Well, I do think that this last tweet was a little bit snarky and a little bit like out of line, because to be quite frank, not everyone wants to be a name on the goddamn internet. That's just true. I don't even want to be a name on the goddamn internet, but here we are. Life. But you know what? Like, he is absolutely correct that, like, you don't need a platform. You don't need what Tim Pool has built in order to stand up for what's right and to stand up for the courage of your convictions. Man, I have significantly less fuck you money than Tim Pool does. Tim Pool has worked a long fucking time to have the amount of fuck you money that he has, and I don't begrudge him a damn bit of it. I have significantly less than him. I had even less than him when I first started speaking. I had even less than I do now when I first started speaking up. It doesn't make a difference where you are right now, whether you know, it doesn't, like, you don't need to have a massive YouTube channel or a popular show where you get super chats or anything else in order to stand up for what you believe in. And as long as you are not willing to stand up for what you believe in, then don't complain when those things keep happening. It's incredibly frustrating, and I completely understand why. I mean, I don't know specifically what provoked this, but I completely understand the sentiment behind it, because I've been frustrated about this too. If every single person who was against the bad things that are going on right now in our world stood up right now and said, no, we're not doing this anymore. This is not acceptable. This is not right. This is not just. These are not the values that we hold dear. If every single person, or maybe let's even set a lower bar. What if half of the people who thought that critical race theory was bullshit stood up and said it right now? What if 25% of the people who thought critical race theory was bullshit stood up and said it right now with their name and their face on it? They went to their school board meeting, they made a speech, just like those parents in Loudoun County, Virginia are doing, just like these random moms that we see getting up in the school board meetings, putting their name on the line when they don't have fuck you money to do it. What if only 25% of the people who agreed with them stood by their side and said, no, you are not doing this? It'd be over in an instant. The reason that our discourse is so fucked up is because it is completely controlled by one side, and the other side is patting themselves on the back and saying, we're the silent majority, we just show up and vote. Well, how did that work out for you last time? So I get it. I understand what he's saying. And I agree with him. And I don't have to like him as a person. We don't have to be BFFs. I don't have to like the people he surrounds himself with in order to say it. God, wouldn't the world be like, here's another thing that would improve discourse, by the way. If you stood up for when people said something right, even when you don't like those people. Even when you said, I'm going to put personal differences aside because dude's got a point. I wish more people would do that. So I'm on his team on this one. I completely agree with him. And I've been getting ratioed by white supremacists for the last 2 weeks, so I really don't care anymore. Like, you guys, like, like, side note, like, this whole idea of, like, oh my god, it's a ratio. Dude, who really cares? Who really cares? I'm getting ratioed by anonymous people on the internet. Woo. Like, scary, scary. So that's kind of where I stand on this one. A little bit of an unexpected position for me to take this morning. Hey, listen, if you are one of those anonymous people on the internet, and maybe you want to stand up and you know, speak out and say what you think, here's something that can help you. I'm going to shill a product. I'm going to use a rant about Tim Pool to shill a product, and the product I'm going to shill is this awesome Hempworks CBD oil that I do actually use in real life. This is the cinnamon one, and the reason I'm bringing up this cinnamon one is because apparently I got an email this morning that there is a deal where if you get 2 of these cinnamon ones, you get 1 for free. And that's actually a pretty big deal because that's like $90. Okay? These things are expensive. And what it is it's just a little bottle and it's got an eyedropper in it, and you put it a couple drops under your tongue in morning and at night. Has so many benefits. You're going to feel a lot less stressed. I sleep a lot better when I'm doing this stuff. The cinnamon one, which is what the deal is for, is actually my favorite flavor. It tastes just like a Red Hot. If you remember that candy when you were a kid, it tastes just like that. I have experienced so many benefits to this. You guys always comment about how good my skin is. Dude, I don't have a makeup regime. I don't have like a moisturizing regime or anything else. Stuff like this. Remedies. That's what makes it happen, I think anyway. But you might have different benefits. There are all sorts of different things that CBD oil can help you out with. I will put a link in the pinned comment below or in the description below, depending on what platform you're watching this on. You can go to Hempworks, go to the Hempworks site, which I will pin below, and you can get your own CBD oil. And again, if you get a couple cinnamon ones before July 5th, if you get 2 of them, you get an extra 1 for free. That's a lot. So you want to take advantage of the offer? Well, you can. And you'll also help support my channel, which is pretty awesome as well. All right, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out. We'll see you soon.